And this is a Amazon Japan order. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at this guy. Wow, this is a very pleasant surprise. I had no idea this thing was this awesome. And I feel like a big dummy for just, you know, basically accidentally ordering this item, not really sure how good the quality was going to be, and then being completely amazed at how awesome it is. So I went and ordered some more items from Amazon Japan, and I'm going to include these items in this unboxing. Alright, so I ordered one more of these Ryobi reciprocating saw, you know, basically a flat blade, because it works so good at cutting thick cardboard. So I ordered the Silky ONO. You know, and when I saw this on Amazon Japan, I kind of thought it was just, you know, really plain, and I really didn't think much of it until I got this and realized, you know, this is full tang. It has the removable handle. And then, you know, of course I went out and I watched some reviews on this and found out how awesome this little hatchet is. Well, okay, yeah, it's got a good sharpness to it. I mean, it just, you know, it doesn't look real amazing in its shape or design, but it's just, man, that is a good hatchet. Here's a quick close-up of the Silky ONO 120. So you've got a slight curve here. There isn't a sharp corner here. Slight curve here. So the hole in it lines up all the way through. And then I got the Pocket Boy 170. You know, when you look at a picture of this, you think this is, oh, you think it's a cheap plastic handle. This is good stuff. So this one is made in Japan. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that already know all this about this brand. And like I said, I feel kind of dumb because I just figured it out. This Silky brand is really good. This is that Japanese pole saw cut. So the top is 0.83 millimeter. Yeah, and it's 1.06 millimeters here. The entire piece of steel is beveled, thin on the top, thicker on the bottom. It's you press here, so it has a notch there at that angle. Then it's got this, and then folded up, and there's no lock on the folded position. So here's a close-up of the Silky Pocket Boy. You can see that everything is very well made. One of these icons indicates that this has hardened teeth. You can see the tips of the teeth are hardened. So the Pocket Boy, you would never take a file to. Just a side note, people who are Fjällräven brand fans know about Fjällräven pants. The Silky Pocket Boy Curve 170 fits into the hatchet holder. You can't get the top snap on, but it fits in there. got the GENKI-Temagari 500. Of course, it is made in Japan. There is some, I don't want to say dispute, but maybe some confusion about these teeth being sharpenable or not. And so the word on the streets is that if these are hardened teeth, they will appear a little bit blackened, and then you do not want to ever sharpen it. And this icon here indicates that these teeth can be sharpened with a file. After watching one YouTuber sharpen one of these, didn't look like he used any real special kind of a file, but all he did was just lightly hit these top facets. So he was not filing on these edges. It's basically 2 millimeters thick at the handle. And that tapers down to a, say, 1 millimeter. It's about 1 millimeter on the top. Yeah, it's around 1.5 on the bottom. So it's tapered longitudinally, narrower at the tip, and it's tapered top to bottom, narrower at the top, wider at the bottom. So they run it through a grinding process. Oh yeah, and I can feel like bevel right here. And then this handle, of course, is the full tang with the removable handle. This is maple, by the way. Silver maple, to be specific. Once you get the hang of it, the cutting action on this is almost effortless. It really doesn't take a lot of pressure. You know, you're not forcing it into the wood. It's got all the aggressiveness built right into it. But man, that thing is amazing. So that is the Silky GENKI-Temagari 500. This one, Fujiya. I really like this brand, Fujiya. And this is made in Taiwan. Okay, that surprises me a little bit, but this one has a bevel on it. So if you have to go flat against something, the handle will lift off the surface. So let's compare this closer to the Bako. The Bako has a tighter fit to the jaw. There is a little bit on the Bako, but on the Fujiya, there's a lot. What is it about the Bako that I don't like? Well, this is the first adjustable wrench that I've ever run into where pushing up is open and pulling down is closed. To me, that's backwards. In my opinion, it's backwards. This one works like all my other adjustable wrenches. Pushing up is closed, pulling down is open. Now, I don't know, if you're left-handed, then pulling down is open, pushing up is in. So if you're left-handed, go get yourself one of these Bako 9031Ts. I don't know, can anybody explain in the comments why the Bako is different? Did I just happen to buy like a left-handed version of this? Is this normal? Is it not normal? Is it a European versus American thing? I've never run into this before. This one was about as expensive as this one. This one was about $50. The DENSAN DK670. Is it made in Japan? This is made in China. What a bummer. This is an electrician's knife. It's actually quite nice. So you've got this kind of curved wedge profile to the blade. And it also has these little rollers on here. Actually, they don't roll. You know, there's not a bushing there, but it does serve a purpose. And don't worry, I'm being careful, cutting toward myself, I know. But when you use it, the wire will hit those rollers and go right along like this. Okay. And I gotta say, it does work really well. And it is doing a fine job cutting through this. Cut through that like nothing. So it does work. It's a nice knife. Try to give you a close-up so you can see how it's constructed. So that is the DENSAN. So that is the DENSAN DK670A electrician's knife. I got the largest size flush cut. Flush cut. This is a flush cut right here. I was hoping that it would be like a better quality version of this. And this is for flush cutting edge banding. So you know, if you do an edge band and you need to trim the edge band off flush, that's what this is for. But it's not real high quality. It's okay. But Fujiya, made in Japan. Look at the tolerances here. All these tolerances are much, much better. You can also see that the tip doesn't really come to a tip. The two halves don't meet at a perfect point. So the Fujiya's got about a 7/8 inch cut length, and this one's got about 1 3/8 inches. The handle length is the same if I line up the axis on the pivot here. That's the Fujiya 77A-200 compared to the fast cap flush cut. So I wanted another of these type of nippers because I really, really like this Tsunoda. I wanted one a little bit bigger. You know, I'm kind of bummed on this one. It's not quite what I wanted. I really like this Tsunoda. This is the KBN 150. I wish that they made one like this with this profile, but bigger. Bigger handle, nicer handle, and larger. So these edges have been ground like the Tsunoda so that it comes to a point. And then this contour has been ground into it like the Tsunoda, okay? So that it has this profile now. Well, how much bigger is it? Well, not very much bigger at all. So the handle is a little bit longer, but the actual working end of it is not really any bigger at all. There's a little bit of difference when you look at it this way, but very, very little. So So was it worth it? No, I mean, it wasn't worth it. I would not do this purchase over again, but I'm happy with the modifications because now this is a tool that I'll use. That's what I ended up with Fujiya. So just to be clear, you can't buy this with this profile. This is modified. So that is my modified Fujiya 50A-175. Let's leave the small stuff for last. All right, let's look at this vessel screwdriver. So I got this because everybody's heard me talk about my favorite hot set bit holder, and I wanted to see what this bit holder was like. Okay, why is it, okay, a little bit fussy there. Not what I want to see. Got some fitment issues here. All right, so let's see here. Let's get some real bits here. Try this. It's in here. So here's a vessel with the Asian anvil, 13mm offset on this. Does this fit in here? It doesn't even fit in there. So this doesn't even take the Asian anvil. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I guess it's okay. So what about one of these, American anvil size? That fits in there. These C6 bits. Yeah, this bit fits right in here. Okay. Yeah, this PB Swiss bit fits in here really well. So these are security Torx. I wonder if these are really vessel bits. This is made in Japan. It says it's made in Japan. But, you know, this is made in Japan. It even says Japan right here. But I'm suspicious of these bits. These bits, oh, they are, this one is marked vessel. This Phillips isn't. Okay, it was only a few dollars. I think it was an add-on item, I can't remember. This was definitely an add-on item. This is a little ratchet. So it's made in Japan, vessel brand, and when you look at it in the pictures, it looks just cheap and plasticky. But now that I see it and hold it, this is quite nice, actually. So it's just magnetic. There is no, yeah, this is not a locking collar, and there's no BB in there. It's just magnetic. The ratchet action is really smooth. Yeah, for a few bucks, I think it's okay. So that Phillips 3 is not marked with the vessel brand. That Phillips 2 is not marked as a vessel tool. This doesn't have a vessel brand on it either. No, so bits don't, there's no retention in there. I'm not sure what they're going for here, but this is actually a nice little tool. Okay. Then this was an add-on item. I think it was $1.50. Just a tweezers, made in Japan, stainless steel by ANEX. I'm just hoping that it's accurate enough to be a in a first aid kit for taking out slivers. Well, it's grabbing my skin. Okay, so it's coming to a point. For $1.50, why not, right? So that's that. All right, so then I got a couple of these longer bits. Very, very pleasantly surprised with these. 150mm length. So this was an add-on item. It's Vessel brand, made in Japan, offset. And it's got the number 1 and number 2. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at this. Let's look at this oiler. So this is Furupla. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I don't see anything specifically that says it's made in Japan, but it could be in Japanese. I'm not sure. Okay, so here's a JETOILER. So this is a very nice looking, high quality, got an O-ring on there, nicely machined. Okay, so it is made in Japan right here. Made in Japan. Okay. Very nice, precise fitment. So it's plastic in there. This handle feels really nice. Okay, so I've had just a little bit of a chance to use the JETOILER, and this is my press awl, you may remember from one of my German tool hauls. And so they both work just fine for dispensing oil for cutting. But the difference that I find is that with the Japanese one, the JETOILER, the way that this comes out so far here makes it just easy. It almost hangs on your hand. And it's just handier, easier to just grab this and give a couple shots of oil on there. It's just so much easier to do that compared to the press awl, where it's just a little bit clumsier. You got to reach just a little bit farther. I got to get a little bit underneath this. The JETOILER is the one that I prefer. Interesting. All right. Okay, these blades. All right, so I got myself one of these. Letherman Surge. And I even got it customized. There's my website, my YouTube channel on there. The Letherman Surge has a very interesting feature right here. So they have these blades. I put the file in it, but this opens like this. Try to do this here. Okay, this. And look what we have here. That is, I don't know, I call it a jigsaw connector. Now, you want to get a real saw on this Letherman? Put this SK11 Japanese blade in here. This is made in Japan, and this is gonna cut some wood. Okay, this tooth here is a little close to the finger, yikes, but there it is. SK11 made in Japan. This is a shorter one. This is 165 millimeter, and this is a 200 millimeter. It, of course, does not fold up. Okay, so that's about how long it ends up being. So how do you carry it with you? And this tooth makes it a little bit, yikes, getting your finger in here to get this, to get that loose. And these teeth on this are so sharp, you have to be careful. with this. Okay, so the problem is you got to figure out how you're going to carry it with you. Don't know. That's an interesting option for a Letherman, if you can figure out a way to carry it. You know, I guess I'll just have to wear this when I'm out in the wilderness trying to survive. This is a really neat tool. This is the most exciting thing in this whole tool haul, this one right here. Thank you for watching. Now I can survive in the wilderness.